I've thought a lot about these videos that I put up on YouTube, and a lot of them are just me sitting in this desk, and sometimes I'll, cut away to things. But I kind of like this whole as if I'm addressing the nation things. I don't want to be president, by the way. I have no designs on the office, except for that it'd be kind of nice if somebody brought me coffee. That's a kind of a cool perk. But other than that, it's kind of not a job I want. But I like this thing, and just kind of like addressing so that's the thought about I don't. And also I'm kind of lazy to do a lot of the other stuff. About 6 months ago, I stopped reading the news. And before that I would sort of like scan the headlines and get the gist. But then I decided, what if I just didn't do it? Kind of like how I experimented with just quitting all social media. At the time that I quit all social media, the idea was I'll quit, see what it's like, and I can always get back in. But everything was so much better without it that I just never re-signed up. That's how that happened. So, news. Thought, okay, what happens? Stop reading the news. Not even the headlines. Just like nothing. And lo and behold, pretty great. And it took a little bit of, dopamine withdrawal, that whole thing. It was a little Jonesy, like social media, where you realize the addiction with, that you didn't quite grasp how momentous it is until you stop it. And then you're like, but it's been pretty great. Now, if you're thinking, and I've talked to a few people about this because I couldn't, it's been a little bit of a grapple in my brain, which is, I've talked to a few people, I'm like, I just stopped, and they basically said, well, you gotta like kind of know what's going on. And I'm like, but why? And like, well, because it's the world and you're part of the world. It's like, I know, but why? Like, why do I actually have to know what's going on? As I tell my clients in the small stepping world, it's like, that ain't your movie. This ain't my movie. I'm not affecting the political landscape. I'm not affecting world affairs. And I believe that if something is really like serious going on, somebody's going to tell me. And that you might say, well, then they do it. It's like, well, if you like watching the news and doing that, then do it. And thanks. I mean, I try to like offer a service in my own life via what I put out into the world, podcast, which I don't do anymore. But these videos, music, my new record coming out, those are things that came out of me not doing and getting distracted by those things. And it's interesting how not watching the news positively affected my days. Even the headline scan was populating my brain in a way that actually took up real time. So if you just go like, well, I like the news, do it. But don't complain that you don't have time to do shit that may be more important to you, like spending time with family or creative endeavors, because it is a time and energy suck. And maybe there's ways you can go sort of limit it, not all cold turkey like I did, but that's, what I did. I still can't quite wrap my brain around this idea of like, why do I need to know? So I believe somebody's going to tell me, hey, by the way, nuclear war started 5 minutes ago. Like somebody's going to come out and tell me that, and I believe that to be true. If the real serious stuff happens, I'm pretty much going to find out. But in the meantime, life is better the more, for me and my family, the more focused I am, the happier I am, the less stressed I am. And I had a great year at the race, running it, never felt better. Getting the record out, all these kinds of things. Now you might say, well, you can't prove that it's because you didn't watch the news. You're right, I cannot prove that it's because I didn't watch the news or read the news. But I can tell you that my quality of life is better, just like when I quit social media. So these are the kinds of decisions that you can absolutely make. And sometimes they're super beneficial to quality of life, to health, to stress, to longevity, to all the things wrapped up in a life that is not in overwhelm all the time. And news, even just the YouTube pundits talking about crap that it's not really news, it's opinions. And I just realized I have no desire to listen to it. At best, I was sort of getting the nuggets, but at worst, I get swept up into a conversation that was opinions that mostly are going to be wrong anyways, and they never say later, well, I was wrong about that. It's like gone, and then and so it's just that whole world. I was like, what if I just got out of it and completely, in a way, was honest with myself, which is that I actually don't care, and it was more of an addictive thing going into that than it was a true caring about the substance, because when I finally asked myself, I don't care I actually don't care about it. And it's been great. So the point of this video is, and the reason why the comments are turned off again is like, think about it. Because I work with people a lot who say, I'm just too busy for this and this and this. But when you actually look at the stuff that we are legitimately wasting our time with, it frees up a lot of time, potentially. And then you got to figure out what you're going to do with all that free time. And that's a hard question to ask. I have answers for myself because I know that I'm writing a novel and I'm still writing songs and all those kinds of things. But for you, it has to be you thinking about, well, what am I going to do if I don't have that stuff? How am I going to, what are the things that are going to make me happy? And that's a really hard question to ask. And it's a good question to ask. So anyway, leaving it at that. No news is no news.